do all the packs. Hey, Alan, we open more packs. Delta, thank you for the resub. Yeah, this is never ending. So, got 3 more Murderers at Karlov Manor packs to open, and then I forgot about the draft tournament that Ben ran, that I ended up getting, I guess, second in that, which is where this came from, as well as good old Bello. So Bello we won't mess with right now, because all I want to do is sleeve these. I like to play in pre-con, 100% pure pre-con, the first few times, just to get a feel for what the deck does, and then we modify. So we're gonna get through the Karlov stuff. Obviously, there's only 3 more packs. Open this box and see what's going on in there, and yeah. And also tonight, excuse me, I am planning on playing in the deck. That deck does war crimes. The text says make trash do smash, so I'm excited. I need to go to the LGS and get a box and some sleeves for it. But all right, let's get cracking. I got until about 4:15 to do these things. Maybe. Again, getting into the packs. Need a knife. There we go. What am I playing tonight? I want to make, like, I want people to like me. And so, take it easy on people, maybe. Not play Cardoor. What? Yeah. Yeah, I want people, like, this is my first time playing with this group of people, so I don't think going ham with Cardoor is probably the right play. Necessarily. Look, a bat. One of these days, I'm going to make a proxy that's a BATT, and it'd be just a picture of a baseball bat. A flying baseball bat, no less. Here we go. The plain old basic mountain. Some of these I think we've seen already. Like Public Thoroughfare. Which, you sack it unless you tap an untapped artifact or land you control. Assemble the players. Yeah. So what to play, right? There's Nayali, who she's still 100% pre-con, but she likes to win. She's won a lot for me, so she's a strong contender. There's also Cathril. Cathril is a lot of fun. So Cathril Aspect Warper, when he ETBs, you go through your graveyard and you pick out counters, keywords, and every one of them that you find, you can put on any creature that you have on your battlefield. So the whole idea behind him is hey, Squishy, what's going on? We're just doing magic stuff right now. I was going to reach out to you and see if are you able to watch during the day? Because I was thinking about working on your commission tomorrow sometime during the day. Would that work? I just finished work for the holidays, so anytime. Okay, great. I will reach out to you directly, give you warning as to when I'm going to get started. I have an errand to run in the morning. I'm hoping will only take a couple of hours. And so I could see maybe a like right after lunch sort of situation, where we could do a couple hours on your commission. So I'll keep you posted. But you know, if I can make it so that if I can give you fair warning, right, I can make it so that you can catch at least some of it, then I'd love to. I'd love to have your, like, having the live feedback is so great, right? You know, where we're like working in the moment. It's awesome. So way more collaborative than just like a you know, back and forth, but make it easier on. Yeah, no, to a large degree, yes, because you know, you can in the moment you can be like, that's not quite right, or you know, like, hey, you've got it, like, run with it. So, by the way, I already appreciate the feedback that you've given, and I think we can work some sort of a percussion situation, you know, cinematic percussion situation, kind of like what, you know, going on right here in this piece of music. Like, there's a pulse, you know, and I think that's what we're going after. So we'll give it a whirl. Getting back to Cathril, though, he, like I said, he's a lot of fun because what you end up doing is like putting your creatures in harm's way on purpose, which is confusing to people who don't know what Cathril does. So you want to kill a lot of stuff, but so when I play him, I'll put out, you know, 2 or 3 creatures and just attack with them relentlessly until they die, you know. And then because also Cathril, the deck has a lot of creatures in it. I'm so excited already. I want to show the crew so bad, but I'm waiting till it's done. That's cool. Yeah, we'll get it. We're gonna nail it. For those who don't know, I'm working on something for Squishy Poet, a piece of music. It's turning out, it's about 1:12 in length, but don't worry about the 12. As an intro to a Dungeons and Dragons campaign he's going to be running with some friends. So it's just a fun little piece, and it's going to be good. And I'm excited because I like it when my stuff like gets used for things. It's very satisfying for me to know that a piece of music that I wrote is out there being enjoyed by people. All right. So, assemble the players. I think we've seen assemble the players before. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. That's right. And then once each turn, you may cast a creature spell with power 2 or less from the top of your library. Cool. Is this? This is Cathril's theme. Cool. I'll turn that up a little bit. He's a bug. He's gross. Alright, Krenko! Oh my gosh, Krenko, here you are. Legendary creature Goblin 3/3 with haste. Tap and sacrifice an artifact. Put a +1/+1 counter on each goblin you control. Krenko, what are you doing? Whenever an artifact is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, you may pay a mountain. If you do, create a 1/1 red goblin creature token that gains haste until end of turn. So make goblins, plus them up by sacrificing artifacts. Oh, goodness. So yeah, he plays on himself. So when you sack an artifact, it goes into the graveyard. So you create another oh, gross. Krenko's a lot. I've been building a Thraxamunder deck for a very long time. It's not very good yet. I feel kind of that way about Cardur. Like, I haven't really test-driven the changes I've made. And also Cardur. Ben referred to Cardur as a second place deck. Because there's not a lot in the deck that will kill off players, and so the best I can do is basically get down to one opponent who will then cream me, because Cardur becomes completely ineffective because of if able language. The pop off or die, it's either pedal to the metal or like nothing happens, and I get that. Lightning Helix deals 3 damage to any target and you gain 3 life. I think we've seen that a bunch. Simply Rope. Equipment. Equipped creature gets a +1/+2 and has reach and can't be blocked by more than one creature. Cool. And then you can sacrifice it and draw a card. That's a strong rope. It is. And actually, yeah, pay 2 and sack, draw a card. Card draw is always good. It's a little expensive for card draw, I think, but I don't know. The 2, I would expect it to be 1. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. Caught red-handed is an instant. The spell can't be countered. Gain control of target creature until end of turn and untap that creature. Gains haste until end of turn. Suspect it, which means it has menace and can't block. Ooh, okay. Got some good ones. Suspicious Detonation. Spell costs 3 less to cast if you've sacrificed an artifact this turn. Spell can't be countered. And deals 4 damage to a target creature. Can't be countered is the... Cardoor doesn't need that. Cardoor needs all of it. Anything red or black, Cardoor needs. Cardoor needs... I'm going to have to make some choices because I do have a lot of removal in the deck because I need to remove him. But some of these look like so much fun. Like, I kind of want to balance it out and create a deck that does have enough, we'll say, player removal in it to actually win. Because right now, I don't think he does. But again, I haven't played him in his modified form yet. Like, I really modified him, so I haven't done anything with him yet. Fanatical Strength. Instant target creature gets +3/+3 and gains trample until end of turn. It's a green card. I think we've seen Innocent Bystander before. Whenever is a 2/1 Goblin Citizen, whenever Innocent Bystander is dealt 3 or more damage, investigate, which that's create a clue token, which is card draw. So you want to set him up to be able to either he's going to block 3 or more damage, or set him up so he can take a lot. Bite down on crime. That's cool art. Okay. As an additional cost to cast, you may collect evidence 6, which means you go into your graveyard and exile cards with a total mana value 6 or greater. This spell costs 2 less if evidence was collected. Target creature you control gets +2/+0 until the end of turn. It deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. Bonk. Okay. We got Hazda, Vigilante. Whenever Hazda Vigilante enters the battlefield or attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control with power 2 or less. It's a 4/4 giant soldier. Cardoor needs it all. Okay, toxin analysis. Let's see what this is. This is a swamp. Always considering swamps and mountains. Target creature gains death touch and lifelink until end of turn. Investigate. That's pretty good, and it's only 1 swamp. Just until end of turn though. And then Gadget Technician. Goblin Artificer 3/2. When Gadget Technician enters the battlefield or is turned face up, so this guy's got Disguise. Disguise. Let's see if Angel just pops up. Like Conjuring Angel out of nowhere. When Gadget Technician enters the battlefield or is turned face up, create a 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature token with flying. Nothing yet. I was like waiting, hoping. Be really funny. Yeah. Not bad. Getting some repeats, which is obviously to be expected. As we walk the riverbank here gently. Cardboard doesn't need that. Delta, I think that's short-sighted. Cardboard needs it all. Yeah, everything. Cardboard is now a 200 card deck. That's not a big deal, right? Just not. It's not a problem. Pay no attention to the fact that my library is a tower. It's just a casual rule 0. Unlimited library. Of course, that also reduces the probability of drawing the cards that you want, but math. 200 is fine. 200 is what? 200 is fine. I think we've seen Rubble Belt Maverick before. Surveil 2 on ETB. It's a 1/1 human detective. So look at the top 2 cards of your library and then put them into the graveyard and the rest on top of your library in any order. And then play a Broccoli and exile Rubble Belt Maverick from your graveyard. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Activate only as a sorcery. Didn't Yu-Gi-Oh! Have to make a rule where someone had brought like a 1,000-card deck or something? I don't know. These games I thought usually kind of come with a preset like card limit, but maybe Yu-Gi-Oh! Didn't. I never played it. Alright, Planeswalker. I haven't seen a whole lot of Planeswalkers out of these packs. So this is Kaya Spirit's Justice. I'm going to hold this up to my face to read it because, wow, the text is tiny. Whenever one or more creatures you control and or creature cards in your graveyard are put into exile, you may choose a creature card from among them. Until end of turn, target token you control becomes a copy of it, except it has flying. That's wacky. The +2 is a Surveil 2, then exiled a card from your graveyard, so that plays into that mechanic. The +1 is create a 1/1 white and black spirit creature token with flying. And then the -2 is exile target creature you control. For each other player, exile up to 1 target creature that player controls. So, okay, so that doesn't feed 100% back into the initial mechanic because it doesn't say it says specifically creatures you control, but that's pretty cool. Yeah, but then that last bit, hey, she did appear, right? But what I'm saying, Delta, is you can't read it because focus, but the beginning, yeah, we did say it. The beginning is whenever one or more creatures you control and or creature cards in your graveyard are put into exile. So I was thinking this last bit, the -2, is like you're exiling other people's stuff, but that doesn't count toward the making copies of things. So either way, it's good, kind of cool, making copies of dead stuff. (5/4). This is Azoni, Center of the Web. Legendary creature, Elf Detective, 5/4, with Menace. Whenever Azoni, Center of the Web enters the battlefield or attacks, you may collect evidence 4. So we're going through our graveyard. If you do, create 2/1 black and green spider creature tokens with Menace and Reach. You can sacrifice 4 tokens, Surveil 2, then draw 2 cards, and you gain 2 life. Removal is good. And it does, yeah, because it's... I need some of that in my life. Black, white. Do I have a deck that's black? Is Nayali black, white? Somebody is. I guess somebody who's black, white. Alright, Aftermath Analyst. So 1/3 Elf Detective. Excuse me. When Aftermath Analyst enters the battlefield, mill 3 cards. 3 and a broccoli. Sacrifice Aftermath Analyst. Return all land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Mill 3, and then return all land cards from your graveyard. Oh. Cool. Land is good. Private Eye. A homunculus detective. 3/3. Other detectives you control get +1/+1. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, target detective can't be blocked this turn. So pick a detective, can't be blocked. Nice. Living Conundrum. That's me. 2/5 elemental with hexproof. If you would draw a card while your library has no cards in it, skip that draw instead. Huh. Okay. As long as there are no cards in your library. Living Conundrum has base power and toughness 10/10 and has flying. So this is... Huh. I've not seen anything like that take advantage of a lack of library. So if you get milled down to nothing, skip the draw instead. Okay. So... I get this. Like, the library being empty is not the lost condition, right? It's the trying to draw from the library when it's empty, right? If you can't draw, you can't play. Rules question would then, let's say that Delta, that you had milled me down to nothing, right? And I play this card. This card is out in some way, so I wouldn't lose because of the draw for turn. But could you then force me to have to draw a card and force me out of the game that way? I would think you'd be able to do that if you had something that made me draw a card. So this guy, that's not the question here. This guy is pretty self-explanatory. It basically says, if you would draw a card while your library... Oh. Okay, no, it doesn't specify it at the beginning of your turn, so it does prevent it. If you would draw a card while your library has no cards in it, skip that draw instead. Okay, never mind. That makes sense. So, in order to set me up to lose, you'd have to get this guy off the battlefield. And then I would be forced to draw a card at the beginning of my next turn, and I would lose. So, Living Conundrum really sets up like a last-ditch sort of situation for the player. It's cool. It pulls something out, like, I don't know where. Because you're not drawing cards, so if you're mana-starved, you're staying that way. It's very cool. I love stuff like that. Galvanize. Alright, Galvanize deals 3 damage to target creature. If you've drawn 2 or more cards this turn, Galvanize deals 5 damage to that creature instead. I kind of feel like that's already in the card war deck, because that'll remove him. Topiary Panther. 6/5 Plant Cat with Trample. Basic land cycling. Okay, so 1 in the broccoli means you discard this and search your library for a basic land card. Reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. So, get here. Offender at Large. Is this? It's about me. Giant Rogue 5/4 with Disguise. When Offender at Large enters the battlefield or is turned face up, up to 1 target creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn. Every time. I'm going to do that every time. Alright. Crime Stopper Sprite. As an additional cost to this 2/2 Fairy Detective, you may collect evidence 6. Go through your graveyard, find cards up to 6 mana cost, and exile them. It's got flying. When Crime Stopper's sprite enters the battlefield, tap target creature. If evidence was collected, put a stun counter on it. I like that. Stun counter locks them in tap. That's so good. Yeah. Got a Novice Inspector, a Human Detective, a 1/2. When Novice Inspector enters the battlefield, investigate. Creating the clue token, which is card draw. Shady Informant. Just aggressive. Say that as aggressively as possible. Hey, look! It's Swamp Mountain. Let's see if this would be applicable to the Card Tour deck. 4/2 Ogre Rogue. It's got Disguise. And when it dies, it deals 2 damage to any target. That's kind of fun. But not anything like that blows me away as far as applicability to Card Tour. Hi. Basilica Stalker is a 3/4 Vampire Detective with flying. Why do I sound like I'm making a dating profile for these creatures? He's a vampire detective with flying. He enjoys stalking people and sucking their blood. Whenever Basilica Stalker deals damage or combat damage to a player, you gain 1 life and surveil 1, which is look at the top card of your library. You may put it into your graveyard. And then it's got Disguise. So detective. So that's cool. Again, nothing's super jumping out at me. Except Living Conundrum was kind of cool. Kind of fun. Still waiting on the phone stand so I could just like drop these 1 by 1 into Mana Box. The Box of Mana. Last of the Karlov Manor packs. Unless I fucking find one, which is entirely possible. So, I was getting into my car one day. This is a while ago. And noticed, as I'm getting in the driver's seat, I caught a glimpse of shiny foil underneath the driver's seat of my car. Reach down. I lose unopened packs of cards in my car. Like, this is how bad this is right now. I have so many unopened packs. Well, not anymore. But I had so many unopened packs. They were like literally spilling out of my pocket into like the crevices of my automobile. There was a point with Ben where we go over to his house for anything, and he just like, here's 5 packs of cards, just like shove them into my hand. So like his problem is my problem, which is not really that big of a problem. It's a problem I enjoy. And so yeah, OMG is right. Like finding, and then there's this box that I had forgotten that I have. I was just going, yeah, problem being that, like, it's not a problem having it. My problem is not knowing what I have, which is kind of part of the reason for this exercise here is, going through all this stuff and just kind of taking stock of what I have and then building a spare parts deck. Island. Alley Assailant, Vampire Rogue 3/3. Enters tapped. It's got Disguise. And when you turn it face up, target opponent loses 3 life and you gain 3 life, so that's neat. Dat me. Tulsamere Midnight's Light. Okay. Got an Elf Scout. This is a legendary creature. 3/2 with lifelink. When Tulsamere Midnight's Light enters the battlefield, create Voha Fenstalker, A legendary 5/5 green and white wolf creature token with trample. Whenever a wolf you control attacks, if Tolsmir attacked this combat, target creature and opponent controls blocks that wolf this combat if able. Oh, forces a block with a nasty giant wolf. I almost feel like I should play that, like build a deck around that, just given my last name. Hedge Maze. It's land. Forest Island. Enters tapped. And when it enters, you surveil, which is look at the top card of your library. If you want to, you can put it in your graveyard if you don't like it. Yeah. I'm gathering that. And hell yeah. Surveil lands. Yeah, those are cool. I thought that said survival. I'm like, it didn't say survival. Leering Onlooker. Yeah, no, the Tolsmir may have some potential as a commander, because like every time he comes back, he brings his wolf friend with him. You kill off the wolf, I cycle him, and the wolf is back. Oh, it does. It has the basic types, so they are fetchable. So it doesn't necessarily need to say the word basic on it for it to have the basic type. Yeah. These are details that I need to know. Leering Onlooker. A 1/3 vampire with flying. And you can pay 2 colorless and 2 swamps to exile Leering Onlooker from your graveyard. Create 2 tapped 1/1 black bat creature tokens with flying. Oh, sure. Okay. Because the non-basic lands don't have those keywords. Knife. As long as it's your turn. Oh, this is an artifact. Clue equipment. As long as it's your turn, equipped creature gets +1/+0 and has first strike. And then you can pay 2 and sack it to get to draw a card. Flotsam and Jetsam. Double card. So Flotsam's an instant. You mill 3 cards and investigate. And Jetsam is a sorcery. Each opponent mills 3 cards. Then you may cast a spell from each opponent's graveyard without paying its mana cost. If a spell cast this way would be put into a graveyard, exile it instead. Vengeful Creeper. You're a creeper. Disguise. And then it's a 5/5 plant elemental. And when it's turned face up from being disguised, destroy target artifact or enchantment an opponent controls. These guys. Yeah, just like I can imagine every time I say that, you're like your head just whips around. And you're like, what? What do you want? Person of interest. 2/2 human rogue. When it enters the battlefield, suspect it. Create a 2/2 white and blue detective creature token. By the way, a suspected creature has menace and can't block. What? I have not seen... That joke is lost on me because I haven't seen Step Brothers. And you're going to be like, oh my god, you haven't seen Step Brothers. I haven't seen Step Brothers. Where are you living? Oh, yeah. Oh, that's funny. Stop effing around with the computer. Cold Case Cracker. 3/3 Spirit Detective flying. When this dies, you investigate. So you create a clue token. Public Thoroughfare, we have seen that already. Several times. Oh, this is going to be... Oh, yeah, okay. Squishy. Is there anything specific I'm looking for? No. This is more of an assessment of, like, the sorts of things that I might be able to build around. I'm pretty sure that I could build a couple of fairly functional... well, at least one fairly functional Karlov-based deck. Although, and I have Nelly Borka, so I'm probably going to gas her up a little bit. And then the like sadistic bastard in me is always looking for things to add to Cardor to make him as absolutely disgusting to play against as possible. Just relentlessly full of bullshit. He is my my kind of mess around stupid deck that, like, if I take it to an event, you really only get to play it once, right? I'm gonna mess everything up here. So I'm looking for anything that's swamp or mountain related. So yeah, that's it. So beyond that, I'm just like looking at cards. I just think it's fun, and I just have a lot. Also, and I haven't said anything yet, so I might as well say something now. I'll say something later too. I'm going to MagicCon in Chicago in February, and one of my goals is to build just a fun spare parts deck for that trip. Nothing too serious. We're not playing, competitive here, but just something cool to goof around with. I have one. So this was funny. I told you I won this guy at a draft tournament that Ben put on. And so we did the draft and, went around, and like ended up with obviously a ton of cards. And then we all go off to build the deck. My birthday is Saturday. This is mine. See, this is special because this is pre-release. This you cannot have it. But no. So we went off and we built our decks, and getting ready to start the tournament, the actual gameplay. And I didn't realize for a draft tournament, it's a 60-card deck. So I built a 100-card deck. Like, I had never played in a draft tournament before. So it was the most painful thing, though, was then going back through the 100-card deck. It was Commander, but with a 60-card deck. I don't know. But so we went. I had to go back through and like pull out 40 cards. Like, how do you do that? You have, like, sure, some of them are going to be lands, and so you just, like, pull out lands proportional or whatever. But then choices had to be made. And choices were made. And I definitely did not. Well, no, I won second place. I ended up, pulling it out. So, at least for second place. But, yeah, so... That being said, I preserved the 100-card deck, right? So I have that deck around here somewhere, and I'll probably bring that one with me too, just because it's a dumb fun deck, and I would like to see what it does as 100 cards, because it played okay as a 60-card deck. All right, I got super excited about this because this probably will go in Cardor. Slice from the Shadows is an instant, can't be countered. And target creature gets -X/-X until end of turn. This is just good old-fashioned removal of Cardor himself. That guy there. And then Fairy Snoop is last card in this pack. Last card in all the Karlov packs. So 1/4 flying fairy detective creature with disguise. When Fairy Snoop is turned face up, look at the top two cards of your library. Put one into your hand and the other into your graveyard. Yeah, that was Squishy. That was pretty brutal. Making some tough decisions and trying to figure out basically like what mechanic do you want to commit to. To me that's actually the toughest part of building a deck, is like, because you do kind of want to do that. You can't. I've never seen a potpourri deck. Little of everything. Have not seen it. All right, here we go. Sorry, Angel. I'm opening this box. This is happening. Just throw my garbage all over the studio here. Ooh. Got some tokens around there. Set that aside. Ooh, D20. That's cool. Excuse me. Okay, we got. That's that. Building a pre-release deck. Ooh. Bunnies. All right. So just start out looking at some cool art. Is that our boy? Is that our boy Bello there? Might be. Ads incoming. Sorry, guys. Ooh. Pop Hatch Recruit. This is really cool. Okay, so that's really funny. So 2/1 Rabbit Warrior. The keyword is offspring. It's a rabbit. I like that a lot. Offspring 2. You may pay an additional 2 as you cast a spell. If you do, when this creature enters, create a 1/1 token copy of it. It's also got trample. Big money. Whenever a creature you control becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control other than that creature. So cool. And that's the shiny one. Oh, dude, I'm getting hungry. All right, here we go. Bloomborough art series. Some arty stuff over here. I'm going to lose my mind later because I'm burying my phone in these wrappers and I won't remember that. All right, we got a whole bunch of new stuff. It's gonna be good. Cool. Thistledown players. That's a mouse bard 3/3. Whenever Thistledown players attacks, untap target non-land permanent. Raccoon Rallier. Yeah. 2/2 Raccoon Bard. Tap and target creature you control gains haste until end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery. So, not at instant speed. Okay. This is a word that I've only seen, that I've only read and never heard said, pronounced. So, a gate, Blade Assassin. Lizard Assassin 1/3. Whenever the assassin attacks, defending player loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So it's automatically just going to take off a life. I think it would be hilarious if Kardur just had a whole bunch of lizards fighting for him. Sunshower Druid is a 0/2 frog druid. Whenever Sunshower Druid enters, put a 1/1 counter on target creature and you gain 1 life. Life gain. Just little guys. Lots of them. Thought Shucker? That sounds inappropriate. Rat Rogue 1/3 with Threshold. Okay, so you pay 1 and an island and put a 1/1 counter on Thought Shucker and draw a card. Activate only if 7 or more cards are in your graveyard and only once. Canonically, they are the size of actual lizards, so they are tiny. I'm cool with that. I don't care. That would be hilarious. Kardur and his legion of tiny lizards. We could throw in a rat warlock too. Mind Drill Assailant. So 2/5 rat warlock. As long as 7 or more cards are in your graveyard, Mind Drill Assailant gets a +3/+0. Yeah, exactly. Losing to like 53-inch lizards. And for 2 colorless and either an island or a swamp, you can surveil 1. One second. Nettle Guard. There's a lot of creatures coming out here. These are all creatures. 3/1 Mouse Soldier. Valiant. Whenever Nettleguard becomes the target of a spell or ability you control for the first time, each turn it gets +0/+2 until end of turn. Spell or ability that I control. And then you can pay 1 and sack him, and you can destroy a target artifact or enchantment. Here we go. There's something other than a creature. Lupin Flower Village, which is a land that generates colorless or planes, but you can only use it to cast creatures. Or you can pay 2 and a land and planes. Tap and sack it. Look at the top 6 cards of your library. This is going to be interesting. You may reveal a Batbird, Mouse, or Rabbit card from among them and put them into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So it's an or, so you only get to pick 1. That's right. I see a swamp. That's a bat cleric. Cleric. 2/1. Offspring 2 in a swamp. You can pay that. And if you do, you get to make a 1/1 token copy of it. It's got flying. This creature can't block. And whenever you gain life, each opponent loses 1 life. So it's not life equal to your life gain. That's all right. Splash Portal, it's a sorcery. Exile target creature you control, then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. If that creature is a bird, frog, otter, or rat, draw a card. Too bad that's blue. Always looking for ways to pick off Cardor. Salvation Swan. 3/3 Bird Cleric. We have a bird deck too. It's color ID. I think it's got white in it. Flash and flying, and whenever Salvation Swan or another bird you control enters, exile up to one target creature you control without flying. Return it to the battlefield under its owner's control with a flying counter on it at the beginning of the next end step. So, target creature control without flying. Oh. So you exile it and ETB it, but then it can fly. Season of the Bold. This is a red card. So what do we got here? It's a sorcery. Choose up to 5. What are we looking at here? The tiny text. 5 paws. I think that's what those are. Worth of modes. You may choose the same mode more than once. Yeah. For 1 paw, you can create a tapped treasure token. 2, you can exile the top 2 cards of your library. Until the end of your next turn, you may play them. And for 3, until the end of your next turn, whenever you cast a spell, Season of the Bold deals 2 damage to up to 1 target creature. Yeah. I like that. 5 paws. And we got a forest, because that's cool. And a wishing well. Which is an artifact. You can tap it and put a coin counter on Wishing Well. When you do, you may cast target instance or sorcery card with mana value equal to the number of coin counters on Wishing Well from your graveyard without paying its mana cost. If that spell would be put into your graveyard, exile it instead. Activate only as a sorcery. Hey, Halls, what's going on? We're opening fuzzy bunny cards. And I think we're actually finally to the end of my collection of unopened packs. So that's neat. What are you up to? Working? Coming to the end of my time off, so we'll be back to the work and lurk. I respect it. I always say, like, as a music streamer, I'm flattered by lurkers, because if you're lurking in my stream, it means I'm making sounds that you like, and I take that as a compliment. Got a bunny here. Intrepid Rabbit. 1/1 token creature, Rabbit Soldier. When this creature enters, target creature you control gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Cool. And this is an ad card. Yeah, you know, it's like, it's if you're sticking around, and you know, yeah, Bloomborough has all the creatures. In fact, here we go. We're gonna get into this. Little instant, target creature gets +1/+3 and gains reach until end of turn, so it can block stuff. Yeah, these are fun. Like, they kind of nailed it with these. With like, they reached an audience that is not necessarily into all the grim stuff that Magic has. Like, Magic's got some real, like, you know, grim and haunting things. And these are great cards. They're powerful cards. And they kind of fit a niche of, like, whimsy, right? So I like him a lot. Starlit Soothsayer. Hey, Tooth, what's going on? Good afternoon. 2/2 with Flying Bat Cleric. At the beginning of your end step, if you gained or lost life this turn, with Surveil 1, which means you get to look at the top card of your library, and if you don't like it, you put it in your graveyard. If you like it, you put it back. Or if there's some other graveyard thing going on with your deck. Oh, another High Stride. Two of the same cards in one pack. Dazzling Denial. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 2. If you control a bird, counter that spell unless its controller pays 4 instead. Tooth, what's going on, man? Working lurk today? Or do you have the time? Do you have the day off? I can't remember if you took time off. Hey, look, check that out. Intrepid Rabbit. Another one. This is just the ad card, though. Still not. Oh, right. Okay. Anything on that front? Frilled Spark Shooter. I'll talk about this, and you let me know. Lizard Archer 3/3 with Menace and Reach. Frilled Spark Shooter enters with a 1/1 counter on it if an opponent lost life. Oh. Half watching Metallica charity show in concert. Is it the Metallica thing, like, is that an old show or are they doing it now? Is it like legit live? Okay. Well, take a little break, regroup. Like, people, I know at my job, like, everything kind of dies down at the end of the year. So, and then picks up in January. So, oh, right on. It died down for me because I made it die down. You know, like, right, Tooth. That's kind of what I mean. Is like all departments just kind of like, you know, close up a little bit because, yeah, exactly. January. I'm hoping January is a good month for you. And I do keep an eye out for you. Nothing's really come up in engineering, but I will continue to keep an eye out, especially in like my group, where we are doing some new things, and so I'm hoping that means new roles will open up. Yeah. So until such a time, then I just keep thinking about you. Cindering Cutthroat, Lizard Assassin 3/2. Cindering Cutthroat enters with a +1/+1 counter on it if an opponent lost life this turn. And then for 1 in either a swamp or a mountain, gains menace until the end of the turn. So. Just previewing. Yeah, Delta, I have kept kind of an eye on email and Slack a little bit with my job, and there have definitely been moments where I'm glad I'm not working this week. I'll be grabbing anything once the new year rolls around. I'm getting to the point where I'm losing the luxury of waiting for something that fits. You know, and maybe it'll end up being adjacent to what you're looking for, that you could like slide into that. It's kind of how my IT career started. When I graduated from college, I couldn't find anything, and so I actually ended up going to a temp agency and getting a job in marketing, and did that for a bit, and that sucked. But then an opening in the IT department came up. And so after like, I think a year and a half maybe of like stuffing envelopes, I shifted over and started working in IT. So it can work out, and I hope it does. Hey, here's a frog. That frog that Halls was looking for. It is an instant though. It's Long River's Pull. It's gift a card. You may promise an opponent a gift as you cast a spell. If you do, they draw a card before its other effects. So you can. This is nice. Counter target creature spell. If the gift was promised, instead counter target spell. Wait. Counter target creature spell. If the gift was promised, instead counter target spell. Huh. Right. Yeah. Call center. I've done call center too. And yeah, that can work out. I actually had a friend in high school who was a very talented engineer. Target spell gets rid of the creature. Yeah. Yeah, Tooth. I had a friend who started in a telemarketing call center. So like the most soulless of call centers, and ended up like running their IT department. So all these things can happen. You got a 1/1 squirrel warlock, believe that or not, called Bone Cash Overseer. You can tap it, pay 1 life, and draw a card. So cards for life. Activate only if 3 or more cards left your graveyard this turn, or if you've sacrificed a food this turn. Well, yeah, I get that. I mean, it's not forever, you know. We are in a tough. Yeah, exactly. Like, foot in door is key, and I think it's got to be a tough market right now. Unemployment's pretty low, if I'm not mistaken. So, jobs are filled, and so yeah, it's gonna be foot in door, and then watch for postings, and then watch for postings everywhere. But 3 Tree Scribe is a 2/3 frog druid. There's your frog, little dude. Whenever a 3 Tree Scribe or another creature you control leaves the battlefield without dying, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Oh, really? Yeah, I know that's a different stat. Because that doesn't unemployment, the statistic, like, they try to factor in basically who's looking for work. And like, they don't count the people who have essentially given up trying to find a job in the unemployment numbers. Out of workforce is different. Yeah. Okay. So they both factor into essentially like how to figure out how many jobs are available and who's looking for them. Yeah. All right. Edinburgh Crab. Oh, but they'll throw out the 2% number, which is just on. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Oh, sure. That's who's applying for benefits. Okay. Eddie Merc Crab, 5/5 Elemental Crab with Flash. This one looks really good. This it's expensive though. It's 7 mana cost. The spell costs 1 less to cast for each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard. Cool. Enigmatic Crab enters tapped if it's not your turn. When Enigmatic Crab enters, tap up to 2 target creatures. Cool. Again, here we go with the swamp because I'm looking. This is another lizard. Again, this could be fun. I just need to like get about 2-3 more copies of Cardor and then make a bunch of decks. Cardor with lizards. Offspring 2, you may pay an additional 2 as you cast a spell. If you do, when this creature enters, create a 1/1 token copy of it. And landfall, whenever a land you control enters, this creature deals 1 damage. Oh, that's cool. Yay. Target opponent. Mountain, Shiny Mountain, and Polywallop. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each frog you control. Target creature you control deals damage equal to twice its power to target creature you don't control. Shiny Mountains. Yeah, the mountain is shiny. That's a cool card. Polywallop. Beat his ass. Yeah. Shiny. I am overhauling my mana box coming up here. That's another reason why I'm unpacking these cards, is because like I need to see what I've got. So I'm gonna do that. I need to do. I need to start over. I think you may have been around for this story about how I'm dumb, and I have I have this, and this is what inside of it looks like. And I started to catalog these, and I don't know where I stopped. I don't know if it's with the loose cards or the sleeved cards. I don't know. So I'm going to start over. And in order to expedite that process, I bought, off of TikTok, I bought a a phone stand that lets you just like slide the cards into a tray, and Mana Box will snap them and load them into your database. So I should be able to just like, do these pretty quick. Problem with the one I bought is it's designed for unsleeved cards. So I might actually get another one I'll either get another one that's designed for sleeves, or I'll lean into my stupidity and unsleeve everything in that box as kind of punishment for my crimes. Yeah, I mean, like I got started a while ago, and yeah, this is a new thing that I've just discovered on the TikTok shop, and I think it's just like it's 3D printed, so it's probably somebody posted up a design for the 3D printed stand, and then people with printers are just like, oh, I can print that and sell them for like $20. So I think the one I bought, it was like $22 or $25 or something like that. Sword. Then we got Banishing Light. When it enters, exile target non-land permanent and opponent controls until Banishing Light leaves the battlefield. So it holds something in exile. What's the app you use? Mana Box. From what I understand, I'm just getting into this aspect of collecting. But what I understand is that the database that the Mana Box uses can then be exported and uploaded into like websites and stuff like Moxfield. So Card Binder, I'm gonna look at that. Like I'm at a great spot right now where like I can take suggestions It's just mana box is what my brothers use, and so I was just gonna run with that. But I might look at card binder too. I use mana box into Moxfield. Does card binder export as well, Tooth? Might of the Meek. Target creature gains trample until end of turn. It also gets +1/+0 until end of turn if you control a mouse. It also gets to draw a card. Oh, that art is cool. Little mouse dude's fighting a snake. I think we saw this guy before. This Starlit Soothsayer, Bat Cleric with flying 2/2. At the beginning of your end step, if you gained or lost life this turn, surveil one. I think we might have seen that already. It does export as a CSV. I wonder if Moxfield can take that in. But yeah, that's the plan. Oh, it's only free up to 500 or 1,000 cards. I think Mana Box is free. But then I don't have as many cards as some people I know. High Stride. This I think we've seen before. You get +1/+3 on a target creature, and it gains reach. I'm gonna move a little. Oh, you pay for the mana box. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's probably either one of those is a good purchase. Right. I'm 100% on board with paying for things that I will use. So I'm thinking though, like it's probably not that much either. Those apps are usually not too expensive. You're not paying like $500 a year. Tooth for today, I'm probably going to close up shop in about 20 minutes for this afternoon, and then tonight I'm going to come back and I'm actually going to play Magic, or at least that's the plan. I'm going to hop into Pool Sharks whole thing and play a game or two. And then I'm going to stream during the day tomorrow as well. Yeah. I'm probably going to do commission composition tomorrow during the day. The composition's almost done. Some detail work needs to be finalized. And then... Oh, you're going to be battling with Dave tonight. 40K style? And I'm torn about tomorrow night. Angel, if you're around, do you have anything for us to work on? I think you do. I mean, we talked about you have like freaking 500 songs written. But I also got I got some techie stuff to do too. So Tooth, you'd be interested in this. I was considering, I want to do this on stream. Tomorrow night might not be the night. But I got this in the mail yesterday. And I was thinking about installing it because I got this setup here where you can actually see the desktop. And I bought a work mat and such for guitar work. And so I was actually considering putting that pickup on during stream and like see how that goes. Just doing a guitar nerd, technical goof off stream. If that sounds like something that might be interesting. Covers, I don't know if I'm going to be in good shape to sing. So this might be the better option anyway. Yeah, I've been staring at this thing for like a year. And then we got into a decent financial situation where I was able to pick it up. And between that, and I also got a pedal board. Yeah, I've been looking at new pickups. So the PRS, the 245 SE that I have is kind of going to be my Franken guitar, and I really want to put hotter pickups in it. And I've been looking at Fishman as well. So they've been doing some cool stuff. I got new strings for that guitar, probably are chilling in my mailbox right now. I got some mediums. I don't know. I have yet to really deep dive into the different models. And so, see, yeah, you obviously know a ton about them, so I'm gonna have to pick your brain about it. But like when the time comes to do that work, because I really want that guitar to kind of be like my signature sound guitar. I would love to convert it to active pickups too. That would be cool. Although I need to see if the cavity has the space for it. But yeah, we'll talk when the time comes to pick up new actual magnetic guitar pickups. Then yeah, we will talk. You're thinking of going away from active. What's your reason for that? Because I'm definitely curious. Because I've always felt that you get, sick of batteries. That, I get that. Yeah. And no, that's valid. 100% valid. They're a complete pain in the ass. I've been on the hunt for rechargeables that stand up to that abuse. I tried a long time ago with 9 volts in my digital wireless, guitar wireless, and they lasted for like a half an hour, and that was it. So like they didn't have the juice, the to stand up to that sort of load. Preamp, I'm not sure. But yeah, so I get that. Yeah, I have a ton of batteries around here. I'm just gonna look through these real quick because I only have about 15 minutes left, and I don't want to leave just like 3 packs to get through. So I'm just gonna look through these. Anything jumps out at, especially those who are in chat. Yeah, I appreciate that because I value your input. And yeah, I've done none so far other than like getting on Sweetwater and just clicking around a little bit, and like, because of course there's Seymour Duncan, and there's the guitar manufacturers have theirs out there that are like drop-in replacements. But Fishman caught my eye because Seymour Duncan is like the fallback de facto, it's gonna be good, right? But I'm looking for something that's good with a little bit of uniqueness to it. And so when the time comes, hopefully sometime this coming year, I'll be looking at doing that work, and I plan on doing all of it on stream too, because I think it's, I don't know, maybe people will be interested in guitar tech shenanigans. Because this one, like, you got to take a bunch of stuff apart. Like, you de-string it, and you got to take part of the bridge off, because there's a bracket that goes underneath, and yeah, so, because you can see, actually, on this one, since it's a Strat style instrument, there's just tape. So on the Gibson style Paul Reed Smith with the 2-piece bridge, you actually take the posts off and it fits on the post. There's a bracket, which I think is cool, is better, because I don't like the idea of sticking things to my guitar. Which one you said? Patchwork Banner. Here we go. As Patchwork Banner enters, choose a creature type. Creatures you control of the chosen type get +1/+1, and you can tap it to add 1 mana of any color. Damn. Yeah, the tape, like, is fine. You know, that's fine. And I'm glad, like, if you're putting it on a Strat style guitar, you're probably putting it on the pickguard, which makes me feel a little bit better, because I'm like, okay, if it's gross on the pickguard and it's really that bad, I can replace the pickguard. But like the PRS doesn't have a pickguard on it, so like I'm not sticking that directly to the wood. Like, you can't pay me to do that. Tape residue is a pain. Yes, the wall behind me is evidence of that. If you could see what's behind those panels. But yeah, I'm happy to adhere it to the guitar mechanically, so that then if I decide to pull it and put it on something else or whatever, that all I got to do is unscrew some things, and we're good. Yeah, Goo Gone on the pickguard is fine, not on the guitar itself, because you're gonna Goo Gone the finish. Bye bye finish, because Goo Gone is not going to be able to tell a difference. Art, frogs and whatnot. Finish gone. You weren't using that, were you? What is that? A share pot? When it enters, create a food token, and then you can pay 5 and tap and sack. Destroy target non-land permanent. Activate only as a sorcery. Huh. Yeah, like I said, I'm going to lay these out, because I only have 2 more to get through. Okay, this is a 4/3 Rat Rogue. That's reason I'm interested in is, of course, it's Swamp. Offspring 3, and then when this creature enters, target opponent loses 3 life unless they sack a non-land permanent or discard a card. Gross. Okay. Yeah, this one's cool. It makes a colorless, or it turns a colorless into mana of a color. Flying Death Touch 1/3 Bat Warrior. That's the Moonstone Harbinger. There's a word. Whenever you gain or lose life during your turn, bats you control get +1/+0 and gain Death Touch until end of turn. This ability triggers only once each turn. Here's a class, which these are kind of fun. So, give the next level as a sorcery to add its ability. When Bandit's Talent enters, each opponent discards 2 cards unless they discard a non-land card. At the beginning of each opponent's level 2, At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, if that player has 1 or fewer cards in hand, they lose 2 life. Gross. I like that. 3 in a swamp at level 3. At the beginning of your draw step, draw an additional card for each opponent who has 1 or fewer cards in hand. Hey, Balin, the Haymaker. 4/3 legendary creature. Tap 2 untapped tokens you control, add 1 mana of any color. Tap 3 untapped tokens you control, draw a card. Tap 4 untapped tokens you control, put 3 1/1 counters on Balin the Haymaker. It gains trample until end of turn. Yeah, I was thinking that too. There's a lot of power there. So, bunnies everywhere. the same song. Spotify, stop it. Just out here streaming and padding my Spotify numbers. Didn't say that out loud, did I? I want to hear stories about people using this music for D&D. That's what I want. That's what I want. Is that too much to ask? Another intrepid rabbit. Frilled spark shooter is a lizard. Lizard archer with menace and reach. Enters with a +1/+1 counter on it if an opponent lost life this turn. That's a lot. Oh, that's good. That's nice. The offspring one still kind of grosses me out because it's rats. Rats and bunnies making babies. Got your frog. Sky Skipper Duo. It's a 3/3 bird frog. With flying, of course. When Sky Skipper Duo enters, exile up to one other target creature you control. Return it to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. It comes back. Got some frogs in here. A 1/1 frog advisor. You get to draw a card when it enters. Whisker Quill Scribe. Mouse. 2/2. Valiant's kind of cool. If it becomes the target of a spell or ability you control for the first time each turn, you get to discard a card and then draw one. Another lizard for Cardor. A 4/2 lizard with trample. I love the idea that like this is like a 3-inch lizard that's got trample. Dude's not trampling shit, you know? When Reptilian Recruiter enters, choose target creature. If that creature's power is 2 or less, or if you control another lizard, gain control of that creature until the end of turn. Untap it, and it gains haste until end of turn. So take over somebody else's stuff. All right. Coming down to it. I'm trying to go through these a little quicker. The Mouse Soldier. They're adorable. 3/4 with Valiant. Cool. Get these scanned and get some sleeves on them. I thought this was kind of cool. And I don't know who I talked to about this, but I would love to go find somewhere a set of old school card catalog drawers. Like from a pull from an old library. Those like 3 million pound heavy wooden ones, and use them to store cards. I think that would be very cool. Myself. Scales of Shale is an instance. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each lizard you control. Lizard deck. Target creature gets +2/+0 and gains lifelink and indestructible until an end of turn. Gotta pack up and get ready to head home in about 10 minutes. If you're still on, I'll pull you back up. I'm going to be bouncing out of here in just a couple minutes for the afternoon to go retrieve my children from where they are spending their day. But tonight, I'm going to play some Magic tonight. Come hang out, make fun of me for losing because I probably will. And then we'll talk about tomorrow, and either it's going to be collab night, or I'm going to do guitar tech, or we'll do both. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But we'll be in touch. Ooh. Okay, yeah, this is a little guy. A little lizard. It's got offspring, and then when it dies, it deals 1 damage to target player. Put it out there to die. Cool. Definitely will. See you later, Angel. Uncharted Haven enters tapped. As it enters, choose a color, and then you get to add 1 mana of that chosen color. Hazel's Nocturne. Return up to 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. Each opponent loses 2 life, and you gain 2 life. Like that. And then all right. That's some interesting stuff. There's another class there. Camellia the Seed Miser. It's got Menace. I'm looking at this as a commander, potentially. 3/3 with Menace. Other squirrels you control have Menace, so it gives Menace to everybody. Whenever you sacrifice 1 or more foods, create 1/1 green squirrel. Yeah. And then 2 to forage. Put a +1/+1 counter on each other squirrel you control. Yeah, that's going to be a fun commander. Squirrel deck. All right, let's see what the damage is here. I'm not going to count the cards, but we'll get an idea of what the stack looks like. There were fewer packs in that box than I thought there was going to be. I thought... Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, 100%. Squirrel deck with that. Create lots of squirrels. Murder people's faces. All right. So here's what we... over the course of the week, what we have gotten ourselves into. So, an absurd number of cards. I'm looking around to make sure I didn't miss a stack. It's entirely possible. Doesn't look like I did. So, I got a lot to go through. Probably do deck construction on stream sometime next month after I get an idea of what's going on. I can't even see the text on that. So that's going to be it for me for right now. Like I said, I'll be back tonight to play. And I hope to see you. Got to get going, though. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you soon. Cool, Squishy. See you tonight or tomorrow. Yeah. No, Worky Lurky's cool. We do that. It's what we do around here. All good. Have a good rest of your afternoon and hope to see you tonight.